Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So, I immediately had to come on here and give you an update because there is a big update in the Ruby Franke, Kevin Franke 8-passenger situation. Now, we haven't covered this in quite some time. We actually have not heard anything. We are aware that there are court appearances happening and that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with the children and the family, and we just really have kind of, as a public, kind of been left in the dark as to what has been happening, but we do have a really big update now, which we are going to dive immediately into because I've been seeing this online and I need to just figure out what is happening. Before I get into that, I am posting on my vlog channel again every single day. I just posted 2 hours ago, so if you want a cozy, sit down, deep, it's quite deep, I'll be honest, video, it'll be linked down below. Look at this. You don't get much cozier than this. You don't get much cozier than that. I talk about dating, relationships, my struggles. If you're interested in that, it'll be linked down below. But let's get into this. So, Ruby Franke's estranged husband, Kevin, files for divorce after secretly separating from the YouTuber mom over a difference of opinion about their parenting. Now, I feel like that is probably the most vague way of putting that. Over a difference of parenting. A difference of parenting? A difference of parenting? Before her arrest for child A. Kevin Franke, 44, who starred in the couple's 8 Passengers parenting channel, which I feel like people don't focus on enough, by the way. I've had a lot of people agree with me when it comes to Kevin Franke, and I feel that he should not be in these children's lives. And a lot of people have said, a lot of people have came for me and they've been like, you don't know the family dynamic. You don't know how much power she had over him, as in Ruby to Kevin. And while that is very valid, it's important to note that at a time, for quite some time, Kevin Franke was involved in the parenting channel. Like, he was a part of what was happening to these children. So if people are going to say, oh, he left and he didn't know what was happening. Okay, for the longest time, he was involved in it. You know, before Jodi Hildebrandt came along, he was also involved in it then, and he also was engaging back and forth with Jodi Hildebrandt for a while. This man is not innocent, in my opinion, and I don't feel that the kids are, in my opinion, safe hands with him the same way they weren't with Ruby. Okay. So Kevin, who's 44, who co-starred in the couple's 8 Passengers parenting channel, secretly separated from his wife 15 months ago over a difference of opinion about their parenting. Shortly after her arrest, his lawyer claimed that he had been kicked out of the couple's family home in Springville, Utah, when Ruby, 41, launched a new life coach channel with her mental health counselor, Jodi Hildebrandt. Jodi Hildebrandt is not a friend of the show, nor is Ruby Franke, nor is Kevin Franke. The 2 women who were arrested together and charged with 6 counts of felony child A after police found Franke's 12-year-old son, Russell, deeply emaciated, injured, and bound with duct tape at Hildebrandt, so the business partner's, home on August 30th. Kevin did not want to be separated, his lawyer, Randy Kester, said last month. Now, we've watched a couple things of Randy Kester, the lawyer, and I'm not the biggest fan of him either, but shocker. So here we're seeing Kevin and Ruby, and then this was obviously from whenever they were arrested. So here's what we're being told about Kevin. So obviously, to the media, they want the media to be on Kevin's side. The lawyer needs you and me to be on Kevin's side because obviously things that happen legally are very important, but court of public opinion is very important here. And that is what they know. So they're trying to get people like me and you to feel sympathetic for him, feel that he didn't know anything that was going on. And while that may have been a case, he knew that things were going on at a bare minimum. And he openly, I don't understand how his lawyer sits down in like testimonies and goes, you know, Jodi Hildebrandt was, you know, treating Kevin so badly and he didn't trust her and he didn't like her. But, you know, he allowed her to be around the kids for so long. Like, 2 + 2 = 5. Like, he wanted to work things through as a family. The separation was under terms prescribed by Ruby and Jodi Hildebrandt. Okay, so he literally is saying that it was Jodi and Ruby that were Ruby is the wife, Jodi is the business partner, who were the ones that were saying that they need to break up. The couple racked up more than 1 billion views and made millions of dollars from their YouTube channel, both of them together, by the way. They launched in 2015 when they started documenting their family life, homeschooling, and tough parenting skills. Tough parenting skills is putting it lightly. We are literally hearing about children being emaciated and injured and bound. Like, fuck off with that tough parenting style. That's not parenting. But fans became increasingly uneasy at the scenes in which she was withholding food as a punishment from her children, told them that Santa would not bring them anything, threatened to bin their items if they did not buy them for her. Oh, wait. Threatened to bin their items if they didn't buy them from her? Wait, so she held their items over the children and made them buy them back? And in one case, threatened to behead a stuffed toy. What the fuck? One viewer called Child Protective Services, CPS, in 2020 after their son Chad, 15, revealed that he had been kicked out of his bedroom and forced to sleep on a beanbag for 7 months. 7 months! That's not even, I was going to say even 7 hours. 7 days. 7 weeks. We're talking about 7 months. I hope they rot in prison forever. And Kevin should be investigated. Kevin should be, like, he's in court, testifying, in his defense and trying to get the kids back. He should be getting investigated too, in my opinion. With the channel losing viewers, the couple started uploading videos in January last year, or they stopped uploading videos in January of last year, and then Ruby launched the new channel with Hildebrandt, in which the two women would offer relationship, parenting, intimacy, and self-improvement advice. Now, remember we had Jodi Hildebrandt's niece. We watched the interview that they did recently. If you haven't seen that one, even if you don't want to watch my commentary, go and watch the actual podcast that they did because it was very telling. And Jodi Hildebrandt has abused many, many, many people, including family members and non-family members. Jennifer Franke, 42, who is married to Kevin's brother Aaron, said the couple received marriage counselling from Hildebrandt, of course, and Kevin moved to a townhouse near the family home where he had a minder from the new channel and company that the other two women had to watch over him. It was a cult, she told dailymail.com. Kevin was in a men's group at this place, and he had a checklist of what he needed to do to be better, and if you did that, they would praise you, and if they didn't, they would chastise you, she said. Now, one thing that's important to note about this as well, with everything to do with Jodi Hildebrandt, is the fact that people can be doing what she was doing to so many people for so long, not only get away with it, but be at the hands of so much power over families is crazy. And also Jodi Hildebrandt has an insane reputation, both privately and publicly, for just being a man hater. Now, I'm aware of like the, we hate man, things on social media, right? And for the most part, I just got out of a situationship, so I agree with you. But when it comes to Jodi Hildebrandt's hatred of men, it was that she wanted to break up families and get rid of the man in all of them. Her reasonings for that, it's up to us to speculate. All right. Oh my God, their number plate for their car said 8 passengers and a YouTube sticker. Fuck me. She should go to prison just for that. Franke's 8 passengers van with 8 passengers license plate. I mean, the 8 passengers license plate, the 8 passenger sticker, and the YouTube sticker. She should be arrested forever for that. What the fuck? When Jodi moved into the family's Springville home, one of the first things she did was to separate Ruby and Kevin. Like I said, she has this reputation. It was almost like the movie War of the Roses. I've not seen that movie. That reference is lost on me, babe. Ruby was living on one side of the house and Kevin was living on the other. Kevin couldn't talk to Ruby unless Jodi was present. Why was she allowed in? You know what I mean? And with so much respect, the only reason I'm being so harsh is because there's children's welfare being involved here. Why did Kevin allow this woman to come in, regardless of how much Ruby liked her, and dictate what happened to their children's lives? Again, the only reason I'm being so stern on that is because his children were directly abused because of that. He was able to walk away from it, and he did walk away from it, but his children weren't able to walk away from it. And I'm pretty sure we had him on the record saying, like, I would see the house had nobody in it, or the house was, the windows were always shut or whatever. And it's like, you know that your children are in there, Kevin. Jennifer said he was also banned from talking to the couple's children, with the couple's estranged eldest child, Shari, 20, and 20 is so young as well, saying her father had been brainwashed. My dad thinks he's a horrible person, Jennifer quoted Shari saying. So Shari is the daughter. They have brainwashed him into believing that he's a bad person. Earlier this month, Hildebrandt's niece claimed that their aunt was the mastermind behind the abusive parenting tactics and that they endured the same treatment. Jesse Hildebrandt said that they were tied up, had duct tape placed over their mouth, were blindfolded, isolated for 12 hours out of the day, and even forced to sleep outside in the snow when living with their aunt as a child more than a decade ago. Police visited the Franke household in September 2020 after a neighbor had called to report that Franke had left her children alone for several days. We're not talking about several minutes or several hours. We're talking about several days to spend time with Hildebrandt. So the fact that people online were calling CPS and the police, the neighbors were calling CPS and the police, Kevin Franke said he was, seeing the house all boarded up and nothing was done to protect these children. What a fail of the child protective system. What an absolute disaster. A police officer noticed the children, but they refused to answer the door, according to a police report. Now, we're also aware that the children are also told not to do anything to talk to outside people, so that's why. But at the time of her arrest, Ruby had moved the children, allegedly without Kevin's knowledge, to Hildebrandt's hometown in a far southwest state. Here we're seeing their home, and here we're seeing Kevin, and then here we're seeing Shari, so the daughter and then the father. And then this is Jodi Hildebrandt's house, which, by the way, literally looks like an army base. I don't know if I've ever said that online, but it literally looks like an army base. This is Area 51. Not only is it incredibly fucking hideous, it looks like a building at Disneyland that they paint with that fucking paint that's like the go away color. You know what I mean? In Disneyland, when they have a building they don't want you to see, so they paint it, like a color to match in, like a fucking lizard or something. This is the ugliest home I've ever seen, and it literally matches everything that I think about Jodi Hildebrandt, just like, ugh. So Hildebrandt's home in Utah, where Russell Franke, 12, was reportedly tied up and starved. It was there on August 30th that the police found the 12-year-old with open wounds and his sister 10, both in emaciated condition, before seizing the couple's other children from Ruby's home nearby. So apparently the children were just split up for no reason, by the way. And they're all very young. We're talking about 12, 10, under. They also find ropes, bandages, handcuffs, and a mixture of honey and cayenne pepper, which was what Hildebrandt allegedly treated the boys' wounds with. So then it talks about Shari celebrating that, finally the CPS have done something and she's been trying for years. But Shari had the police called on her the following day. This is why I don't trust Kevin Franke. Because remember, I always hate wearing a shirt with someone's face in it, because if you just move, they start to get a little bit like, you know what I mean? Sorry, Mariah. Oh, don't give me that face. This is why I don't trust Kevin Franke, because keep in mind, Shari had the police called on her because her father, Kevin Franke, accused her of burgling the family home. So Kevin Franke was reporting his daughter to the police. Springfield Police Department said it was they who had broken the door, explaining to Kevin that it was damaged when the search warrant was served, so it wasn't even Shari. Shari returned 3 tablets, 3 cell phones, 3 cameras, journals, and 3 passports to the police, who then passed them to the father. However, I'm sorry, they belonged to Shari. Shari lived there. Shari took care of them kids. Kevin Franke didn't. Shari has every right to collect journals, cameras, tablets. Kevin, get out of here. But Kevin threatened to sue the police department after they refused to charge his daughter with any crime. Now, do you know why I don't trust Kevin Franke? That and a magnitude of other things. Police said that Shari's intent was not to deprive him of the items. She had previously been allowed into the home, and he had not been in the home for 13 months. In court, Ruby claimed that one of her youngest children had SA'd a younger sibling and M-worded 20 other family members and children in the neighborhood. So Kevin Franke is threatening to sue the police department for not charging his daughter for trying to protect the kids. And Ruby Franke is in court claiming that her youngest child is SAing the entire neighborhood, even though she told us that they weren't allowed to leave their bedroom without permission. So how the fuck is your youngest child doing that? And how is your youngest child, what you're saying, watching all this pornographic material, if you're saying that they're not allowed tablets, they have to buy their fucking toys back, they're not allowed to leave the house, but apparently they have SA'd the entire fucking neighborhood kids. The fact that Ruby Franke said that about her kids, if she wasn't getting lifetime before, I want her to get lifetime now. I think she's lying, said Cynthia Franke, the wife of Kevin's older brother, Alan. She's putting the blame on her 2 kids to validate what she did. She's not even just putting the blame. She's putting insane accusations out there that will live with her children for the rest of their life. At this point, I think she's saying anything to save herself, and this is why I don't think she should get out at all. After Ruby was arrested, my husband called Kevin and told him if he needed anything, let him know, Jennifer said. Kevin responded by saying, gaslighting is real. This is messed up. In some ways, I think Kevin is, to an extent, a victim. He was always the more nurturing one in the relationship. He was also a part of the family channel. In an order on Wednesday the 4th, District Court of Utah ordered the couple not to harass each other, commit domestic violence against each other or the children, or disparage each other to their children. Imagine the court having to literally be like, don't domestic violence your children. Save these children from these parents, both of them. We're being told the court is saying that the couple are not allowed to domestically be violent towards their children, but yet he's trying to get custody of them? Who the fuck's this? Ruby's sister-in-laws. Look at that fuck-ass Bob. What's your name, B.O.B.? So they calling you Bob? All right, basically that she's saying everything to protect herself. She's a spearhead towards essentially destroying his life and destroying his family. Abby, Julie, Russell, and Eve, the 4 youngest children, are currently in the custody of Child Protective Services. Ruby, who billed herself as a certified mental fitness trainer, on YouTube, is being held without bond. I know that's right. With Hildebrandt as they await dates for their next court appearance. I keep asking myself, why didn't Kevin go back to the children? Said Jennifer. I have to believe that none of us know the entire story. All right. There's our update. The more I read about this story, the more irritated I get. Please investigate Kevin Franke. Why are we trying to give him custody of the children whenever he was trying to, get the police to act on one of his eldest children for protecting the kids? Riddle me that one. What do you guys think? What should happen next for Kevin Franke? What do you think? I'm not team Kevin Franke at all. Nor will I ever be. At all. Anyways, I'm going to love and leave you. Oh, again, second channel, link down below if you want to go over and watch it. I would appreciate that. I will see you on my next one. Please let me know what you think should happen to Kevin, and if I'm being too harsh, let me know. We'll talk about it down below. I will see you very soon. Bye.